Good evening. My name is Zaria Powell, and today I'll be presenting my exit assessment for student teaching. So, a little bit about my passion for special education. My passion for special education arose from supporting a close friend who received special education services from primary school up to their transition to adulthood. After observing the special educators who helped her along the way, I describe them as superheroes because of how patient, kind, and supportive they were throughout her whole journey. And I wanted to be just like them. So, using the knowledge that I've received from Virginia State and my cooperating teachers, I'm sure I will be a superhero of a special educator come January. So my first placement was at Greenfield Elementary School, which is within the Chesterfield County Public School System. A little bit about their demographics that stuck out to me was that Greenfield Elementary School is placed at the top 10 of all schools in Virginia for overall test scores. My second placement was at Greensville County High School, which is within the Greensville County Public School System, and it's in Emporia, Virginia. A little bit that stuck out to me was that Greensville County High School placed at the bottom 50% of all schools in Virginia for overall test scores. And this was a catalyst for my action research plan that I'll present later on in the presentation. The conceptual framework. I possess competence by using strategies to establish mastery, such as technology and other resources. Some of which were using Screencast-O-Matic and Desmos to present math equations and graphing, and also creating detailed note sheets for math within the high school level and the elementary school level. I presented caring aspects by establishing student rapport and setting high expectations for virtual learning. I wanted to set high expectations for virtual learning as I would in a face-to-face classroom setting. I presented culturally responsiveness by differentiating lessons to fulfill student needs and using prior knowledge and experiences to make learning more engaging and relevant. Example of that is the book My Grandma and Me, which connects their relationships to their grandparents to what was being taught throughout this lesson. My philosophies. So my philosophy of classroom management is centered around relationships. As the quote says, classroom management is not about having the right rules, it's about having the right relationships. My philosophy of discipline is centered around challenge and engagement. So if the child feels successful in the classroom and always feels challenged and engaged, there'll be a decrease in behavior problems. My philosophy of teaching is centered around a safe, comfortable school and classroom climate. As the quote says, students learn best when they feel welcomed, comfortable, and safe. And my philosophy of education deals with all three of my previous philosophies combined to create meaningful, engaging content for all students. My use of technology. I separated my use of technology into two levels, high school and elementary school. The use of technology such as Desmos, Blackboard, Nearpod, Kahoot, and Screencast-O-Matic was a part of making lessons interactive and also making assessments interactive to promote student participation. In the elementary school setting, I use Grammarly to correct grammatical and spelling errors throughout their writing, Flipgrid to promote video answers instead of written out answers, and Epic to promote literacy throughout online books. The use of assessments to to affect student learning. I use exit tickets to assess if the students are retaining the information during the lessons. Pre-assessments and quick starts to gather data about student readiness before a unit or lesson, and weekly quizzes to help students feel more confident about the content and reduce procrastination. One thing about my assessments is that I wanted to make it engaging. I really focused on engagement and participation due to this virtual setting. And throughout my assessments, I asked the question, do they like this application? Do they like Kahoot or do they like Nearpod? And do they feel prepared for this benchmark or this assessment or this common assessment or whatever that was coming in the near future? So I'll know what to add on to my future lessons before that test. Multiculturalism and diversity. I use relevant and relatable content to connect instruction to students' personal experiences. I differentiated lessons to meet student needs, and I use social and emotional learning throughout lessons, typically during morning meetings. So throughout my elementary placement, we always started out with books. So these are the two books that we read to the students. One is called I Like Me, which promotes confidence within every student, and Chrysanthemum, which gives people confidence within their unique names. As you can see, this picture of a screenshot of a meeting. This student was nonverbal and had to use a tablet program to speak. And so me and my cooperating teacher helped him develop sentences on a Word document. So both of my action research plans were centered around technology due to the virtual setting. And so my first action research plan was about using technology in a special education classroom to help students with autism better develop writing skills. And so the application that I used was Grammarly, and the students had to write writing prompts based on their interests. And my pre-test versus my post-test errors before Grammarly and after Grammarly, the errors were from 17 to 25, mostly spelling errors and unnecessary words. And my post-test was from 5 to 10 errors, usually dealing with passive voice, which really isn't an issue. That's not really what I was looking for. I was looking more on the aspect of unnecessary words, grammar, and spelling. So my action research plan for my second placement was about using educational technology tools to increase student engagement in a high school Algebra 1 classroom. So my pre-test results were from a common assessment that was done 2 weeks prior, and I did this action research plan on 2 periods. And as you can see in the tier one, which is from 100% to 70%, there were only 3 students throughout the 2 periods that received those scores. But after using Nearpod and Screencast-O-Matic, the next common assessment in the tier one throughout both periods, there was a total of 14 students who were within the 100% to 70% score range. And with student participation from the first intervention period with Nearpod and Screencast-O-Matic to the last one, there was an increase in student participation by 14%. So my reflections. Overall, Virginia State University's teaching and learning program has gave me various memorable experiences to expand my professional knowledge. I couldn't have picked a better school to go to for education. I'm very grateful for the benefits, the knowledge, and the resources that this program has given me. I look forward to see how much of a superhero I can be in the special education field using the resources and the experiences that I've been given through Virginia State and also through my cooperating teachers. And I feel so prepared to enter into the work field in January. Using the expertise that Virginia State has instilled in me, I feel prepared to teach in the classroom in January. I would like to thank my cooperating teachers, my professors, and the dean, as well as my parents and everybody that motivated me to get to this point. Thank you.